7 signs you're a rare dimensional dark chosen one. Have you ever felt like you were born wrong, not in the sense of identity, but in the sense of time, place, or even dimension? Like your soul somehow slipped through the cracks of reality and landed here, in a world that feels a little too offbeat, a little too unreal, like a dream you can't wake up from. If you've ever looked around and felt like no one sees what you see, hears what you hear, or understands the intensity of what you feel, then you may be something far rarer than even the awakened ones. You may be what I call a dimensional dark chosen one, a soul not only different but selected, not by light, not by society, not by fame or fortune, but by the whispering shadows at the edge of reality that most people are too afraid to even acknowledge. I know the term sounds terrifying. Dark, dimensional, chosen. It conjures images of cults, of rituals, of long-forgotten doorways and ancient contracts. But this isn't about fear. This is about truth. Because the truth is, light is only one half of the story. And when you are a being forged in the crucible of dimensional shadow, you are not evil, you are deep. You are the bridge between worlds. You are coded with the frequency of forgotten knowledge, the kind that can't be taught, only remembered. And that remembering doesn't come with joy at first. It often comes with suffering, with confusion, with isolation so complete it wraps around your bones like chains.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first sign that you are a rare dimensional dark chosen one is that your suffering never made sense, not even to you. While others face hardships and grow, you may have felt like you were drowning in a spiritual ocean that had no bottom. Trauma didn't just happen to you, it marked you. And not just because of what occurred, but because of what it opened within you. You didn't just survive, you transmuted. Every pain became a portal. Every betrayal became a key. You may not even realize it yet, but your suffering was never random. It was the initiation. It was the fire you had to walk through so that your soul could awaken to its deeper contract. Ask yourself, why you? Why did your soul choose this life, this level of intensity, this kind of alienation? Why are you always the one who sees the truth others refuse to acknowledge? Why does it feel like, no matter what you do, you cannot fit in, not fully? That's not dysfunction. That's design. The second sign is that deep within you, even when you're surrounded by people, there's always this other presence. A watcher, a guide, something that walks with you in dreams, in silence, in moments of despair. You can't name it, you can't explain it, but you feel it. Some call it a higher self. Some call it a daemon. But for the rare dimensional dark chosen ones, it's not just a part of you, it's a contracted force. It's been with you from the very beginning. You didn't imagine it. You didn't invent it. You remembered it. And here's where it gets even more mysterious. The third sign is that you've always had an intimate relationship with the unknown, the occult, the mystical, the paranormal, or the unseen. You may have tried to suppress it, disown it, or rationalize it away, but it keeps returning. Maybe your dreams are vivid and prophetic, or maybe you've had experiences that defy logic, faces in mirrors, synchronicities that seem impossible, knowing things before they happen, or feeling energies in rooms like invisible storms. You're not crazy. You're attuned. You are not meant to be normal. You are meant to be aware. And being aware in a sleeping world feels like madness until you learn to master it. But mastery doesn't come all at once. In fact, the fourth sign is that your life has been unusually filled with endings, jobs, friendships, homes, identities. It's like every time you get comfortable, the foundation is ripped away. But what if I told you that this isn't punishment, it's purification? You are being stripped of illusions faster than most people can even build them. Why? Because your soul knows that false structures can never hold real power. You are not here to build a palace on sand. You are here to awaken ancient power within yourself that cannot be touched by external chaos. The universe has been forcing you to let go of everything that isn't you, not out of cruelty, but out of divine necessity. Because only when you are empty can you be filled with the truth of who you really are. The fifth sign is more subtle, but perhaps the most powerful. It's that you carry a certain aura and energy that others either gravitate toward or run from. You've noticed it. Strangers confess things to you. Animals respond to you differently. People either idolize you or envy you with a strange intensity. You're a mirror, and mirrors are uncomfortable for those hiding from themselves. But you are not here to be liked. You are here to reflect, to reveal, to awaken. And your presence alone does that, even when you're silent. Especially when you're silent. But here's the paradox. Most dimensional dark chosen ones don't feel powerful. They feel broken. They feel lost. That's the sixth sign, an inner duality that never seems to resolve. You feel ancient and eternal one day, and the next you feel like a child lost in an unfamiliar world. That's because your soul is split across dimensions. You are walking in multiple realities at once, the seen and the unseen, the dream and the waking world, the sacred and the mundane. You are a portal in human form, but that comes with a cost. You feel everything. You sense timelines that haven't happened yet. You carry memories that aren't just from this lifetime. And yet, society tells you to get over it or be normal. But how can you be normal when you've touched the infinite? So I ask you, what if your confusion is actually the birthplace of your power? What if the reason nothing ever made sense is because you were born to transcend sense, to rewrite the rules of what's possible? What if your entire life has been the preparation for something that no one else could do but you? The seventh and final sign is the hardest to accept. It's that you chose this, not consciously perhaps, not recently, but at some level of soul beyond time and space you made a contract. You said, I will go into the densest realm. I will carry the codes. I will awaken through the darkness. I will walk alone if I must, so that others may find their way. And you did. You forgot. You suffered. But now you are remembering. And that remembering is the most dangerous thing in the world. Because once you remember who you are, not the name, not the job, not the story, but the essence, you become unstoppable. You become a living key, a living flame. And the shadows no longer frighten you because you realize they were never separate from the light. They were always part of the dance. And you were born to dance in both. The contract of shadows, why you were chosen before you were born. You didn't stumble into this life. You didn't accidentally become someone who questions reality, who walks between dimensions, who feels the pull of something far deeper than ordinary existence. No, this wasn't by accident. This was by design. Long before your birth, before your first breath, before your first heartbreak, before even the shaping of your body, there was a choosing, a soul-level agreement, a contract not signed in ink, but in frequency. And this contract was not with man, not with angels, not even with the gods as you understand them. It was signed with the threshold itself, the liminal space between worlds, the place where shadow and light merge into something more ancient, more complete. That place chose you, and you said yes. But what does that even mean? What does it mean to be chosen by the shadows? It means that you carry in your soul a seed of something that cannot be taught, only awakened. It means that you were not born to follow, not rules, not systems, not even spiritual traditions. You were born to remember, to reclaim, to unearth the lost wisdom that has been buried under centuries of fear, dogma, and distortion. And that wisdom isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's raw, sometimes it's terrifying, because it includes the dark, Not darkness as in evil, but darkness as in depth, as in origin, as in the void from which all things are born. Most people are terrified of the dark. They run from it. They demonize it. But you looked into the abyss and didn't flinch. You felt its pull. You heard its voice. Sometimes you mistook it for madness, other times for depression. But it was neither. It was the echo of your contract calling you back, reminding you you are not here to flee the dark. You are here to integrate it. And that's where your power begins. You see, the world has tried to force you into a binary. Good V's, evil. Light V's, dark. Right V's, wrong. But your soul doesn't live in binaries. Your soul is a spiral, a paradox. A code that unravels only when you stop trying to make it fit into someone else's narrative. That's why nothing ever truly resonated with you. Not religion, not school, not the systems that promised safety but delivered cages. Because you are not here to fit into the system. You are here to break it open, not out of rebellion, but out of remembrance. You remember a time when truth was not filtered through fear, when magic was not a fantasy but a tool, when ancestors walked beside you and the stars whispered your name. And that memory is awakening now. That's why things feel more intense lately. That's why your dreams are getting stranger. That's why time feels like it's folding in on itself, and your emotions swing like a pendulum between despair and ecstasy. You are being called back, not to a location but to a frequency, to the version of yourself that has always known this world is not all there is. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Being a rare dimensional dark chosen one is not glamorous. It's not about power in the way society defines it. It's not about being admired or followed. It's about being forged, and forging hurts. It burns away everything that is not essential. It isolates you. It humbles you. It cracks you open in ways that make you question everything, even your sanity. But on the other side of that cracking is clarity. Not the kind you read in books, but the kind that bleeds into your bones. The kind that makes you see beyond the veil. Can you feel it? That subtle shift. That quiet knowing beneath all the noise. That's your contract activating. That's your soul remembering its original purpose. And you must understand, this isn't about saving the world. It's about rebalancing it. And that begins with rebalancing yourself, with reclaiming the parts of you that you were taught to hide: your intuition, your rage, your sensuality, your visions, your darkness, your brilliance. Every part of you has a place. Every piece of you is sacred, especially the ones you've been afraid to face. So I'll ask you again, what if you are not broken? What if you are simply remembering who you were before the world told you who to be? You didn't come here to be ordinary. You didn't come here to play small. You came here with a frequency so rare, so potent, that the forces of limitation have tried to suppress it since the moment you arrived. But they cannot win. Not because you fight them, but because you outgrow them, because you transmute them, because you walk in the shadow and light with equal grace, because you are the bridge they never saw coming. You were chosen not for comfort, but for capacity. And now the remembering begins. The edge of reality, walking between worlds without losing yourself. There comes a point in the journey of a rare dimensional dark chosen one when the lines between what is real and what is not begin to blur. You feel like you're straddling two worlds, one foot in the ordinary, the other in the extraordinary. You smile and nod in conversations that feel hollow, while your inner being is roaring with visions, sensations, and truths that no one around you seems to see. You attend meetings, pay bills, walk through crowds, all while your soul is navigating corridors of ancient memory, decoding symbols in dreams, hearing messages in silence. You are walking the edge of reality, and it's both a gift and a burden. This edge is not a place most people can survive. It requires a kind of spiritual agility, a strength of inner alignment that doesn't come from books or gurus. It comes from falling again and again into the abyss of not knowing and clawing your way back with nothing but your intuition and your willingness to see what others deny. You live in a dual state, fully human and yet fully something else, something not bound by time, something older than language, something forged in dimensions where form is fluid and truth is felt, not spoken. But here's the hardest part. No one tells you how to hold that edge without losing yourself. No one tells you how to wake up after a night of visions and still go to work. No one tells you how to carry the weight of premonitions, ancestral echoes, and energetic downloads while trying to maintain relationships with people who think life is just about Netflix and traffic. You feel like a ghost inside your own skin. You feel too much, see too much, know too much. And yet, you're expected to pretend to wear the mask, to play the part, to keep the illusion alive. But what if you're not meant to pretend anymore? What if the reason you feel so unstable is because you've outgrown the old structures of identity? What if your anxiety isn't a disorder, but a signal? A frequency clash between your expanding soul and a world that's too small to hold it. The truth is, when you're walking between worlds, your nervous system becomes a tuning fork. You pick up on vibrations most people are blind to. You feel the pain behind someone's smile. You sense timelines splitting. You intuitively know when something is off, even if you can't explain why. This isn't paranoia. This is perception. But perception without grounding becomes chaos. That's the danger. That's the shadow side of your gift. And that's why so many rare dimensional dark chosen-ons end up lost in addictions, in isolation, in mental health crises that are actually spiritual initiations misdiagnosed by a society that fears what it doesn't understand. You need tools. You need practices that don't just numb the symptoms, but honor the depth of your experience. You need to anchor yourself. You anchor not by suppressing your gifts, but by creating containers for them, sacred routines, energy hygiene, boundaries that protect your sensitivity, time in nature, silence, movement, breath. You must become your own temple, a living structure strong enough to hold the storm of your multidimensional awakening. Because the truth is, your power is not in your visions. It's in your ability to embody them, to take the formless and give it shape, to walk into the realm of dreams and bring back truth that can heal, awaken, and transform. But embodiment takes courage. It means being seen in your rawness. It means risking misunderstanding. It means refusing to shrink, even when others project their fear onto you. And it means learning to trust yourself more than you trust the noise of the world. So ask yourself, what parts of me have I disowned because the world wasn't ready for them? What truths have I swallowed because I feared being called crazy? What power have I buried because I didn't know how to carry it without breaking under its weight? You are not here to fit in. You are here to bridge worlds. You are not here to find validation. You are here to become a living transmission of what is possible when shadow and light are allowed to dance, not war. And that requires mastery, not perfection, but presence. The ability to stand at the edge of reality and not flinch, to hold the paradox, to be the paradox. Because here's the secret, the edge is not the end, it's the beginning. It's where the veil thins. It's where the old dies and the real begins to emerge. And you are the midwife of that emergence. Your life is the ritual. Your breath is the incantation. Your body is the altar. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to remake it from the inside out. The final seal, becoming the living key to the hidden realms. There comes a moment when the rare dimensional dark chosen one stops searching for escape and starts remembering their purpose. That moment is everything. It's not loud. It doesn't come with fireworks or applause. It comes in silence, in the middle of a breath, a breakdown, a long walk through the shadows of your own mind. It comes when you realize that nothing outside of you holds the answers, because you are the answer. You always were. You are the living key, the final seal, the doorway through which truth enters this world. And that responsibility is sacred. To become the living key is not to become someone else. It's to unbecome everything you were taught to be. It's to strip away the lies, the shame, the conditioning, the masks, until only the essence remains, the raw signal of your soul, the frequency that belongs to no one else. It's the sound of your truth echoing through time. And when you stand in that truth, you activate something ancient. You become a beacon, a map, a reminder to others who have forgotten, not by preaching but by being. But here's the paradox. The more you embody your true frequency, the more the world around you may try to reject it. Because your light, even when it's a dark light, a deep, mysterious, haunting kind of light, threatens the illusions people cling to. You show them what they could be if they let go of fear, and that is both inspiring and terrifying. Some will be drawn to you like moths to flame. Others will try to dim you, distort you, or destroy you, not because they're evil, but because they're afraid. That's why you must remember you are not here to convince, you are here to transmit. You are here to hold the vibration of truth so purely, so unapologetically, that even in your silence you shift the atmosphere. That is the power of the final seal. You don't force the door open, you are the door. And those who are ready will walk through you not in body, but in resonance. They will rise because you rose. They will awaken because you dared to remember. But the path doesn't end there. In fact, it never ends. Once you accept the role of the living key, life becomes initiation after initiation. You will be tested not by some external force, but by the intelligence of your own soul. You will be asked, can you remain true when nothing makes sense? Can you love yourself when you are completely alone? Can you stay soft in a world that hardens everyone? Can you keep walking even when the path disappears beneath your feet? These are not easy questions. They are the kind that strip you bare, but they are also the questions that forge you into what you truly are, a multidimensional being in human form, carrying codes that even you may not fully understand. And yet you live them, you breathe them, you are them. So what does it mean to be a rare dimensional dark chosen one? Truly, it means you are the echo of forgotten wisdom, the fire that never dies, the voice at the edge of the dream, the storm and the silence, the question and the answer. It means you carry within you the memory of worlds long lost and the blueprint for worlds yet to come. It means you are here not just to witness the shift, but to be the shift. Not through force, but through frequency. Not through pride, but through presence. And so, I ask you one last question, the deepest of all. If you are the living key, what are you unlocking? That answer lives in you now. Let it rise. Let it burn. Let it speak. Because the world is waiting for you.